Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
before you call the case you think I might be here on, I've had a chance to talk to Miss Seeley. She was in the MIDC waiting room, and I explained the charges to Miss Seeley. However, she would like to know under which jurisdiction I operate. I've explained that I'm a criminal defense attorney and I don't operate under any jurisdiction, so I don't think she's seeking the services of an attorney at this time, and the court may like to speak with her.
Alright guys, welcome back. And today's video is an absolute courtroom nightmare from the very beginning. The second this hearing starts, you can already feel the chaos building. We're dealing with a sovereign citizen mixed with full Karen energy, which is honestly one of the worst combinations imaginable inside a courtroom. Before the judge can even properly begin the hearing, the court-appointed attorney immediately explains that the defendant refuses representation because she wants to know what jurisdiction the attorney operates under. And right there, the entire courtroom already knows this case is heading straight into disaster territory. Instead of focusing on the charges or protecting herself legally, she's obsessed with internet law theories and pseudo-legal arguments that never work in real court. The judge stays calm and professional, but everyone watching can already tell this woman is about to turn a simple hearing into a complete circus filled with interruptions, confusion, and non-stop arguments.
Thank you, Mr. Batar.
You're welcome, Judge.
These are 23HR0457A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Bonita Seeley. Ms. Seeley, were you able to hear Mr. Batar just now?
Oh, first of all, are we on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we under penalty and perjury?
Are we on what, ma'am?
Under penalty and perjury, is he willing to swear in?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I can
Everybody-
barely hear you.
I said, is everybody willing to swear in under penalty and perjury?
Ma'am, we're not taking testimony as of yet. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and adjourned arraignment pretrial in these matters.
It still has to be placed on a record. He still has to be put under penalty and perjury because he's swearing to an alleged crime against me and holding me accountable. So even though this is just a hearing, it still has to be put on notice for the public as well.
And this is where the nonsense really starts taking over the hearing. The defendant immediately begins demanding that everyone be sworn in under penalty and perjury, despite the fact that nobody is even testifying yet. The judge calmly explains that this is only a pre-trial hearing, but she refuses to stop interrupting. Every sentence becomes another attempt to challenge the legitimacy of the court itself. What makes this even more painful to watch is how confidently she misuses legal terminology while pretending she understands the law better than trained professionals. She keeps talking about public records, due process, and jurisdiction, as if repeating those words enough times magically invalidates the charges against her. Meanwhile, the courtroom atmosphere becomes more tense by the second because the judge is trying to conduct an actual legal proceeding while she treats the hearing like a YouTube conspiracy debate. At this point, everyone already knows logic and reason are completely leaving the building.
Ma'am, today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and the arraignment pretrial. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Bonita Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, Mr. Batar is the court-appointed attorney assigned to this courtroom for the day. He's indicated that you don't wish to engage his services. Is that correct?
No, let me explain my position. I asked him a simple question about jurisdiction. That's why this hearing has been re-adjourned for today, because the last hearing, none of the attorneys could answer the question in regards to what jurisdiction that we're operating on. So they want to proceed without addressing the jurisdiction, which is a violation of due process. So in order for him to be represent me on any public record, I have to understand what jurisdictions he's operating on.
Ms. Seeley, if you do not wish to use the court-appointed attorney, and you confirm as much to the court right now, Mr. Bitar can go back, ma'am, Mr. Bitar can go back and do other things that he needs to do this morning. Do you wish to use Mr. Bitar's services, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel through some other mechanism?
Under what charge, under which jurisdiction, and then who's bringing the charges against me?
Ma'am, there were citations issued against you in Huron Township for limited access speeding 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. That's a civil infraction. There's count 2, no proof of insurance. And there is the misdemeanor of driving while license not valid or improper license. Do you wish to use the services of the MIDC attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel?
Who are the parties bringing this claim against me? It's a simple question.
Now, despite the chaos already unfolding, the judge still gives her multiple opportunities to make a smart decision. He explains clearly that the court-appointed attorney is available to help her navigate the charges. Honestly, she desperately needs legal representation because the charges she's facing are serious enough to impact her future. But instead of accepting help, she keeps looping back to the exact same jurisdiction argument over and over again. Every answer the judge provides gets completely ignored because she only wants to hear herself speak. The judge repeatedly asks whether she wants the attorney or plans to represent herself, but she refuses to give a straight answer. Instead, she turns the hearing into a lecture about constitutional rights and imaginary violations of due process. The frustration inside the courtroom starts becoming impossible to ignore because this hearing should have lasted only minutes. Yet it's turning into an endless argument fueled entirely by stubbornness and internet misinformation.
You're
I
trying to
answered your
avoid the
question, ma'am. I answered
Who's
your
bringing
question,
the
ma'am.
charge?
I answered your question, ma'am.
And could you re-answer it? Because I didn't hear it. Who's bringing the charges against me?
The citation that was issued to you was issued by an officer from Huron Township, Freddie Yono. It's the citation that was issued. It's signed.
So it's Freddie.
It has his name and his ID number. Ma'am, my question to you is, do you wish to engage the services of the court-appointed attorney, or may I release him to go back to do some other work?
Wait a minute. I have questions before I can answer on. You're trying to get me to
No,
avoid
ma'am.
questions that you
No,
know.
ma'am.
Yes, it's
No, ma'am.
a due process violation. Objection. Yes.
Miss
Because you're not
Seeley,
hearing
this
me.
is
This
the
is a
Miss
hearing.
Seeley, this is the third and last time I'm asking you. Will you be using Mr. Bitar to represent you this morning, or do you wish to retain your private attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Mr. Bitar, you may return to your breakout rooms to meet with other potential clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I
Ms.
may,
Seeley, do you intend to represent? I'm sorry, Ms. Foley Carter.
I just want we started this case back in July. Ms. Seeley attended her first pretrial. She demanded that the case be dismissed. I declined. I asked that the case be set for a bench trial. Ms. Seeley objected, and Magistrate Hinman advised her to file a motion stating her objection. Since then, she asked Judge Green for her oath of office and then didn't appear for the court dates before Judge Oakley. So this case has been going on for quite some time with no resolution.
Because I'm asking a question and it requires a rebuttal and it's being ignored. You cannot violate the due process. This is a hearing, and any questions that I have needs to be answered. You don't get to sit in the capacity of government and ignore the questions that the people have. Someone's bringing a claim against me, and my only question is, are we dealing in a commercial or a common law, also known as a record of law, court? That's simple. So are we in a common law court, yes or no?
And then reality finally enters the conversation. The judge clearly explains the actual charges against her: speeding, failure to provide proof of insurance, and driving without a valid license. These are real criminal matters with real legal consequences, including possible jail time. But instead of showing concern or trying to defend herself intelligently, she immediately jumps back into sovereign citizen talking points. She keeps asking who's bringing the charges against her, even after the judge already explained that the citations were issued by law enforcement from Heron Township. It's the same repetitive cycle over and over again. The court answers her questions, and she instantly ignores the answers because they don't fit the fantasy narrative she wants to believe. At this point, the hearing becomes almost surreal because everyone in the courtroom understands the legal process except the one person whose freedom is actually hanging in the balance. Alright guys, this is where the hearing fully derails into madness. The judge gives her one final chance to answer the simplest question possible. Does she want legal representation or not? But instead of responding like a rational adult, she launches into another rant about jurisdiction, commercial law, and due process violations. Meanwhile, the prosecutor reveals that this case has already been delayed for months because of her refusal to cooperate with the court. Hearings were postponed, motions were ignored, and prior judges already dealt with the same disruptive behavior. Yet somehow she still believes she's winning the argument. The judge remains unbelievably patient through all of this, but the tone in the courtroom noticeably changes. The legal system has limits, and this hearing is rapidly reaching that point. What started as a routine proceeding is now turning into a full-blown courtroom meltdown driven entirely by arrogance, misinformation, and complete refusal to acknowledge reality.
You do not have jurisdiction over me. You do not have judicial authority in North America. You are working for a municipality called the state of Michigan. You have no jurisdiction. You are an attorney. You work for a corporation. You are in a municipal capacity. You have no authority. You call yourself government. Your position is a public servant. I am the objection.
Miss Seeley,
no, you cannot proceed as an attorney. Objection. I will not be showing up in court. I will appeal this matter. Objection.
There's no question pending to you, ma'am. This court will be muting you at this time because this court. The court has muted Ms. Seeley as her responses are not responsive to the matter that is before the court. This matter is being scheduled for trial. If Ms. Seeley wishes to absent herself from that trial, that is her absolute right. That trial date is January 23rd at 11 a.m. That concludes this matter.